Thank you very much for joining us this evening. This is the first of what will be quite a busy summer of club webinars and support sessions on behalf of Bucks and Bucks FA. I'll come on to more details on that towards the end, but with it being middle of May and thoughts beginning to turn around to the 21-22 season, we're going to kick off our series of webinars with a look ahead at affiliation for 21-22 season. You will no doubt hear me trip over my tongue several times as we go forth, trying to get my head around and get my mouth around 2021-2022 season. So I apologise for that in advance. But we will try and cover off as much as possible over the next hour or so. There's kind of two main parts to the session this evening. We're going to cover all of the background and kind of regulatory stuff. So I'm going to touch on the dates and deadlines, fees and requirements, all of that fun stuff. A couple of changes within that around how everything's looking. Update on the County Cups. Yes, they are back. And yes, we're very excited. Touch on player registration. And then Stacey's going to take you through a practical demonstration on the whole
killed the sound completely.
What the affiliation application looks like. And then, as I said, we'll just look ahead at some of the volunteer sessions that we're going to be having over the next few months. So, coming on to the main side of things. As I said as well, by all means, please pop a question in the chat, unmute yourself and pose a question, or use the kind of raise hand function on Teams, and we'll come to you if you have any questions as we go. So the first part, the dates and the deadlines, the rules, regulations, requirements, money side of things, all of the kind of admin that happens in the background. Pleased to confirm that club affiliation will open this summer on the 1st of June, and then league sanction will open on the 1st of July. There's nothing that, from a club or a league perspective, you need to do to activate that. When you log into the whole game system for the first time after those dates, you'll see the affiliation or the sanction tab has magically appeared. And as with the current season, 2021, there's no formal deadline for affiliation, but what we are saying is that every team must be affiliated before it can play. That is pretty much standard in line with FA regulations. That's just to make sure that we know the team has the correct insurance coverage and safeguarding protocols in place, so you must be affiliated before you play. That does include friendly fixtures as well. So if you are looking at playing friendlies in July or August, I do recommend that you look to get the affiliation application in as soon as possible. So the basic requirements to affiliate a club. So every club must have public liability insurance providing coverage for a minimum of £10 million. Every team then must have personal accident insurance, and the basic minimum requirement that we're saying for that is that it must include coverage for broken bones, dislocations, and ligament damage, which, as you may have guessed, are obviously the most common types of injuries that players will suffer in grassroots football. If you're a youth club, you must meet all safeguarding requirements, and you must have cleared any outstanding debts to the county FA. Now, typically, any given season, that's slightly easier because it just basically means you'd have to clear your books. However, conscious that quite a lot of clubs are still playing, so we'll still be picking up the odd disciplinary case as we go through June. So effectively what we're saying there is that any late or outstanding discipline fines must be paid. Anything that's been incurred within the last week or 2 weeks that you're still within that payment deadline on the invoice, that's seen as a current fine, so we're slightly more relaxed on that. We'll still affiliate you if you have kind of ongoing discipline fines. But certainly anything that may have happened before season got terminated early or before lockdown, we would expect to have to be paid before we're able to affiliate you for next season. Affiliation fees themselves. We're pleased to announce that club fees and team fees will once again be subsidised by the County FA for the coming 21-22 season. So you won't be paying any of the £5 team fees or the £7 or £42 club affiliation fees that you may well have been used to from a couple of seasons ago. Now, unfortunately, what we're not able to do, which we were for the 2021 season, is also cover the public liability costs. Reason for that is that whereas for the 2021 season, we received additional funding from Sport England to support the return to grassroots sport after COVID, the amount of grant we're getting has been reduced. So for the current season, it's £15 per team. That's gone down to £10 per team for 21-22. Having run the numbers, we're just not able to continue to support the insurance, unfortunately. So going forward, insurance can be purchased through the affiliation portal in whole game. For personal accident insurance, that is different prices depending on the age group of the team. So adult teams, we're looking at £27 this season. Small-sided or walking football, £24. Under 13s and above, £19.75, and under 12s and below, £15.25. The public liability then, the basic county cover, that is your general public liability for £10 million coverage, is £30. And then the county cover plus, which provides additional coverage for player-to-player legal liability costs, comes in at £60. Public liability, the figures on the left, in blue, those are by club. The personal accident on the right there, those are per team. And we'll kind of explain a bit more around that when Stacey does the affiliation demonstration later. Should be noted that when I mentioned the basic requirements earlier, those are obviously all covered through the insurance if you want to purchase it through the County FA. And this applies to all clubs and teams at step 5 and below. Clubs who play at step 4 and above obviously have a slightly different setup because of the seniority of the competitions. So again, check with us or check with your league to see what coverage may be in place or what the requirements will be for those. For the personal accident insurance, if you then want to upgrade to one of the higher level coverages from Bluefin, whether that is the Superior 120 and above for adults or the Superior Platinum for youth, they can be purchased through the Bluefin portal, but you must have purchased that minimum level through the County FA affiliation first. So let's say you do want to go with Superior Platinum for all of your youth teams, you'd still purchase the basic Superior level through the county. Once that's been completed, go onto the Bluefin portal, and the prices you'll see there are just for the upgrade. So it already factors in that you will have paid the base rate for the basic coverage through the County FA. So although you may look at the Bluefin portal and say, I was only, £10, let's say, per team, and the County FA looks like we're charging you £15, that £10 is already factoring the 15, so actually it's a £25 policy. Before I move on to safeguarding requirements, I'm just going to have a quick look in the chat and see if there are any questions around that side of things. Okay, cannot see anything in there, but I'll keep it up just in case anything crops up. Hopefully it all makes sense, is very much as it has been for this season with the insurance through affiliation, and all the requirements are very much as they have been for the last few years. So moving on then to the safeguarding requirements. And again, very much as it has been tried and tested over the last few seasons. So for anybody coaching under 18s, you must hold an FA approved DBS check, which has been issued within the last 3 years. If you are looking to coach an under 18 team and you don't have that at the point of affiliation, we will not be able to put your affiliation application through. So therefore, we really encourage all clubs to make sure that those DBS renewals are put through as early as possible to make sure there's no hold up on the affiliation side. If you are coaching an adult or an open age team which has under 18 players in it, you will still need to get a DBS check. It won't run that check at the point of affiliation because we need to wait until we have the player registration data come in. But once we have that player registration data, we will be double checking and making sure that all coaches where there are under 18s playing in adult teams do have those checks in place. So just reinforcing that if a coach does not have the in-date DBS, the club will not be able to affiliate. Also to highlight, coach should not be or must not be allowed to carry out their role unsupervised until that DBS is issued. In terms of club safeguarding requirements then for youth clubs, the key committee members, so the chair, the secretary and the treasurer, must have a current safeguarding for committee members course. Now, those of you with long memories may well remember first taking that about 4 years ago. And at that point, we were told it would last for 3 years. 12 months ago, it got extended to 4 years, and I'm pleased to announce it's now been extended to 5 years. So if you took it as part of that initial launch 4 seasons ago, you're still going to be covered for the 21-22 season. Requirement then for a club welfare officer, in addition to that safeguarding for committee members workshop, the CWO must have an in-date DBS, safeguarding children workshop, and a welfare officer workshop. If you've got somebody new joining as a club welfare officer and needs some of those requirements, then they are now all through online education courses. So if you go onto either the FA Education website or through our coach education portal on our county FA website, you should get links to book onto those. If you are struggling to book on or get access to one with availability, then please let us know. What we can still do, is, as we've done in previous seasons, is affiliate the club under what we call a county action plan, which is effectively a commitment from both the club and the county that those qualifications will be gained within a 3-month period. So it just kind of bridges that gap for you. DBS applications and verifications themselves are now up and running. So if you are in need of renewal, that should be being done either through your club, or if you are a club welfare officer, we're now in a position at the county FA level where we're able to do those verifications again for you. And coaches with DBSs expiring, well, that's last season's slide, apologise for that, ignore that. Coaches whose DBS were due to have expired 1st of March to 1st of October 2020 were extended by 12 months. Anybody that then expired after the 1st of October 2020 and before the 31st of May 2021 have also been extended. However, if you've already been extended once, you won't be extended again. So if in doubt, effectively check the whole game system, and if you're due for renewal, now's the time to get that in. And I'm just going to flip through that, and yes, DBS applications for new volunteers should be submitted as soon as possible. As before, you should not be allowed to coach a team until the point that you have a DBS. And that just reiterates, I think, the same comment that was on the previous slide. Looking forward then to the County Cup competitions. Very pleased to say, yes, they are back. But they are going to be back with a slight change of format. Effectively, what's happened is that as a county FA, we've had to look at our entire business operating model, and we've had to therefore change some of the formats of the county cups to make sure that it's financially viable for us as a business going forward. So there have been some changes to those formats. Across the board now, clubs are able to enter one team per gender, day or age group. So what that effectively means is if you have a Saturday men's team, even if you have multiple Saturday men's teams, you enter one team into one cup based on the highest level of competition for your Saturday men's teams. I'll come on to that in a little bit more detail later. Equally, that you can enter one adult women's competition, one Sunday men's competition, and one team at any given age group through the youth pathway. So that adult entry is based on the first team level, but what we've done to kind of support that and to support the participation then is that all players registered within that gender, day or age group are eligible to play in cup games. So your eligibility of players is no longer tied to the specific team that's entered. As long as you are registered with the club in that category of football, you'll be allowed to represent the club in a cup game. So if you have got multiple adult men's teams that play on Saturday, any player registered with any of those teams, whether it's your first, your reserves, your A side, will be eligible to represent you in the cup match. Same thing happens across women's football, across Sunday men's football, and then across all of your youth group teams. So if you've got 5 different under 13 teams in 5 different divisions of the different leagues, you'll only be able to enter one team or one representative side into the county cup. However, any player from any of those 5 teams will be able to play in that cup match. And with the under 12s and 13s, considering we've got so many competitions that play on either a Saturday or a Sunday, what we've done is there will only be one county cup. So there will be one final and one Berks and Bucks FA under 12 county cup winner and under 13 winner. However, we will be running Saturday and Sunday pathways. So effectively, you have a Saturday pathway that goes all the way up to effectively a Saturday final. So we'll have one team come out of that, equivalent on the Sunday side, and then those 2 teams will meet in the county cup final to decide what is the best under 12 or under 13 side in Berks and Bucks. So the breakdown for the adult section then, our new senior cup, County FA Senior Cup, will be for National League system sides and above. So that will be everybody from Premier League, if we're ever back in a position where we've got a side in the Premier League, right down to step 6 of the National League system. The Saturday trophy then will be for all non-National League system sides playing on a Saturday. The old step 7, or what are now the National League system feeder leagues and below. The Women's Cup will be for the Women's Pyramid teams, Women's Pyramid tiers 1 to 6, and the Women's Trophy for Women's Pyramid tier 7. Sunday Cup follows similar format, although we don't have National League system for Sunday. So the top division of all of our Sunday leagues will go into the Sunday Cup, and any club whose highest level Sunday side sits outside of those top divisions will compete for the Sunday Trophy. If I set it up correctly, and I really hope I have, whole game system, when you come to affiliate and enter your team into the County Cup, should do all of this for you. So we'll keep fingers crossed that that will all work out. For the youth section then, we have mixed and girls competitions at under 12s, 13s, 14s, 16s and 18s. We will also be running adult and youth disability festivals, although the final details around those are still kind of being worked out. So we're not yet in a position where the applications to participate in those will go through whole game system affiliation. We'll run a separate entry process for those later on in the year. Same applies for youth futsal competitions. Right, just going to touch now on player registrations, as there's some big changes around this. It has finally happened. They are becoming mandatory across the whole football system as of next season. So what this means is that the 2021 registrations expire on the 30th of June 2021. And the box on the right there should actually say 21-22 registration dates will be set by leagues. The default is the 1st of July, but leagues do have the options to bring that forward or push that back if they deem it appropriate. And as I said before, it is now mandatory for all players to be registered via the whole game system and have a unique email address. And hopefully all clubs are kind of aware of that process by now. We will be running drop-in sessions across towards the end of the summer as kind of drop-in clinics if anybody is having any difficulties with that. But hopefully the kind of new structure, the new portals that the FA have put in place over the last few months have made that process a lot easier to navigate. Right, I'm going to pass over to Stacey now to do a practical demonstration. But before we do that, are there any questions that have come out of anything I've touched on so far, whether it's county cups, insurance, player registrations, or any of the affiliation requirements? Hi, I've got a hand up from Martin.
Yeah, it's Ali Martin from Presswood Colts. Just a quick one. I've done the email capture for all of my player registrations, but a lot of the parents are saying that they're not receiving the emails. I've got 98 currently telling me they're not receiving emails.
Okay. Can
I know
ask
that
you to email that in and flag it with us.
okay.
Typically, I mean, if it was only one or two, the easy answer is to say, if you remove the email address, save it, and then re-enter it, it should generate a new email. But given the number you've got, I'll see if there's anything we can do in partnership with the FA to kind of reinitiate those emails for you.
Okay, lovely. I'll send you an email. Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you.
One in the chat.
Yeah, I can spot that. Fees for the county cups, £10 entry fee across every competition. I should have said that earlier, but yes. So it's as it was before for the county cup entry fees. Perfect. In that case, I will pass it over to Stacey. If you do want to drop any questions in the chat whilst we're going through, please feel free, and we can pick them up after the demonstration.
Okay then, as well, if I share my screen, Alistair.
Yep, go for it. Just trying to work out if I need to hit on it. There you go. You should. Yeah, there you go. I can see your screen now.
Great. So I'm just going to go through what you'll see when you're logging into the whole game system and how to go through filling out the application. So when you log into your whole game system, you should see this screen. Down on the left hand side, there'll be a tab that says Affiliation 2021-22. So when we go into this section, okay, so the first one, we just want you to agree to the FA terms and conditions. So we tick the box and just process it through. This next section is where you'll put in your key committee members. So these are the compulsory ones that the club needs to have on here. So secretary, chairman, treasurer, and welfare officer for clubs with youth teams. If any of these were incorrect or you wanted to add new people, you can do this through this add official tab at the top. Go into this one. So here you can either search by the fan and the date of birth, or you can search through through the details. So I could do, for example, and then click search. It should come up with the person at the bottom, and then you just tick on the name. And here you need to put what role that they're going into. So for this, I'll put it in as treasurer, and click OK. And that will update the officials in this list. Put it through, process it through. So the next step is to put in your home grounds or your training grounds. Here, this will let you add multiple locations. So on this one, we've put one for the main ground and one for the training ground. If you were then wanting to, say, add a new location, so I'll put in Tilsley Park. No. It's not loading. Yes, that one's uploading. So normally, if you search that into there, the grounds, if they're already grounds that are known to the system, they should come up. And once that's in, just continue through. Okay, so this is the page where you're going to upload or add any teams that your club will be having this year. So on this one, you've already got pre-populated ones that were carried over from last year. By going into these, we'll be able to edit any information that might need updating or new coaches that need adding. So on here, you'll be able to put in the suffix or whatever you want that team to be known as, making sure the age group's correct. and then making sure that the manager is the current manager for this next season. So this is the same process as adding the officials. You just search the name, and then you should be able to input this. Down this section, so here you want to put in whatever league that that team will be playing in. And more importantly for this season, as it wasn't last year, is here where you'll input the county cups that you want that team to join. As Alistair mentioned, this should pre-populate with the cups that that team is eligible for. And you'll need to do this for every single team that you're wishing to have for that season. If one of the teams that's already on here from previous years is folding for the next season, you just need to tick this box, and that will update the whole game system to say that that team is no longer running for the new season. And then process it through. Alright. So I didn't do it then, but I forgot. You have to tick these boxes at the bottom. So this one's to confirm that you've entered the county cups that you want to be in for the next season, and this one just confirms that the league entries you put in for each team are correct. Step 5. This is where you would put any insurance that you have already. So if you already had an insurance policy, you would upload it into this section. If you are wanting to purchase it from the FA, you would just tick this box, say that later on in the process you will be purchasing the personal accident and the public liability insurance from us, and process it through. So if you're purchasing the insurance from us, this is where you would put it in. So as Alistair mentioned, every club needs to have one public liability insurance which covers the whole club. So you've got the option here for the basic cover and the county cover plus. So here I'm just going to put one into the county cover. And then for personal accident insurance, you need one of these for each team. So here we had 5 adult teams, so this would be up to 5. And you've got the same for walking football or small-sided teams, youth teams that are under 12 and below, and youth teams that are under 13 and above. So you've got to make sure that these are all add up to the teams that you'll have for this season. So step 7, this will show you a summary of everything that you've added. So it'll have the affiliation fees, which, as Alistair said, is free this year. And it'll have the products. So you'll have here your insurance prices, and you'll also have any county cup fees that you added in the teams section. It'll also show you the club officials and the managers for each team. And then all you need to do then is submit it for approval, and then that will come through to us. So once you've submitted it, one of us at the county FA will then have to go through it and we'll review it to check that everything is okay, and then we'll let you know if there's any problems or anything you've missed or needs amending. You'll then receive an invoice for any of the costs, so the insurance and county cup fees, that'll be invoiced to you. Once this is paid, that will complete the affiliation, and from July, then you should be able to, the team should be active. Is there any questions?
There's one question that's cropped up just, I think, pretty much when we started the demo, which was around cross-county liaisons for club or player registration and insurances. So what we do is we have a bit of an internal process where we basically divide up the county to try and allocate it amongst the team of us that are working on affiliations and player registrations. Those are being effectively led by Stacey and Alex, our club support officers. So chances are, if you are in Buckinghamshire, you'll get Stacey helping you out. And if you're in Berkshire or the little bit of Oxfordshire that we own, it will be Alex who will be helping you out. Although the other members of the football services team will also be kind of pitching in and helping with them. But really, we're there to help out with any queries you get around the whole affiliation process, player registrations, tech support, anything like that. Please come to us and we will see what we can do. So in terms of intra-county, it's a real interesting one. So every county is effectively its own organisation. So because of that, although we kind of coordinate with our colleagues in, let's say, Surrey or Hampshire, Bedfordshire, Northamptonshire, Oxfordshire, Wiltshire, Middlesex, however many counties it is these days that we border, you really are slightly dependent on the county that is the parent of the club. So Cornelius, and obviously you're league representative as well, so you'll be dealing with clubs in quite a range of those counties. Each one of those clubs will have to go to their own parent county for support. Part of that is because we can't actually amend any records or do anything to edit a club that's part of another county FA. But within that, most counties are still following very much the same kind of timeline that we are. So a couple of counties may have already opened their affiliation. If not, the rest will all very much be opening them at the beginning of June, same as we do. And we'll be working to get everybody through as quickly as possible after that date. I hope that answers it. But if you do have any more questions, feel free to come back and help us out. Girls, so the county cup competitions are effectively for the county that you're parent or that you are parented to. Is that right? Basically, where your club is based. So although you may be playing in a league that is sanctioned to another county FA, the default is that you would play in Berks and Bucks Cup because you are in our geographic boundaries. So Gary, in response to your question, you'll be absolutely fine to play in our cups. You would probably need special permission from Bedfordshire FA if you wanted to play in one of their county cups, because you'd be an out-of-county entrant to them. It's all very fun. Gotta love the geographic boundaries sometimes between the different counties. Right. I'm going to just touch on a couple of additional bits of support and resources we have out there to help you through all of this. But if you do have any more questions, feel free, keep dropping them in the chat and we'll pick them up as we go. First is, I just wanted to highlight some additional support we have on our website, first of all. So we have a whole affiliation portal now, which has key information, key links to all of our partner organizations. So a cool pack for any of your emergency aid equipment, to Bluefin for your insurance, and obviously to the whole game system to process the affiliation itself. So please feel free to kind of take a look at that. It's a great way of kind of navigating between all the different platforms you may need to use. Hopefully you've all also received our affiliation guide for the coming season. Pretty much tells you all the information we're telling you today. But if you want to share that across anybody else within the club, then by all means, please do. If you've got any questions or spot any issues with it, then drop me a line and we can always make sure it's updated if it needs to be. I'm hoping it should pretty much be there. And finally, for any safeguarding or welfare questions, whether that's around kind of compliance, DBS verification, safeguarding courses, general resources and help for safeguarding within your club, please do look at our safeguarding and welfare section of our website as well. Wow, my graphics are all over the place tonight. Things are dropping on and off. Next up, I was just going to highlight the FA's Grassroots Technology homepage. So this is something that they've developed over the last year with more and more things going online, and changes to different platforms and new functionality coming in pretty much every week. The Grassroots Tech team at the FA have put together a kind of an online support portal. It's very much self-led. Punch in the question and it will give you a range of articles that will hopefully help you solve the issue, or give you the solutions to it and direct you who to contact if it's something that falls outside of that. We included the link in quite a few of our emails recently and is on that affiliation guide I mentioned a minute ago. And really encourage you to bookmark that. They've got solutions on there for whole game, for full time, for managing discipline, player registrations, the new club portals and competitions portals that are coming out. So there's a wealth of information there. They also have a forum where you can log issues and put in requests for new functionality. And the FA kind of using that as a way of prioritizing what features to develop. So definitely recommend taking a look at those if you get a chance. The latest stage of all of those updates is the new club portal, which was launched a couple of months ago to do with player registration. But hopefully you will all have received a message in the last couple of weeks or so about the new My Club function. This is part of the whole England football rebrand and infrastructure that the FA have put in place to help people find local opportunities to play football, regardless of what kind of format you're looking at, what gender, disabilities, and so forth. And it's a great tool. The information relies on clubs updating it and putting their information on there, which I appreciate. One more thing we're asking you to do, but is hopefully only a one-time thing. And as soon as that is filled, you're on the FA's public database, kind of the forward-facing side of things. So if a family moves to the area and they're looking at an opportunity for their 13-year-old son or daughter to get involved in a youth club, the FA systems will direct them to that Find Football function, and only those clubs that have listed their information will show up. So there's a real incentive in terms of player recruitment to make sure your information is on there. The FA, we are pushing as well. We are pushing them to make sure it also includes volunteer recruitment going forward. So fingers crossed, over the next few months or so, there'll be features for you to be able to post adverts if you're looking for volunteers as well within the club. And that can be found through the whole game system or through the new clubs.thefa.com link. Mentioned as well, we're running a whole range of support sessions over the course of the summer, and this is building on all of the success we've had over the last 18 months or so, two seasons now probably, with these kinds of, I was going to say regular, they were monthly once upon a time. They at various points they seem to have been weekly, twice weekly, now they're back to monthly, but the online webinars that we've been running. So we'll be doing a series of inductions for new club volunteers over the course of the summer, and you'll spot there's a couple of sessions there for secretaries and welfare officers because they're the ones with the highest turnover or the highest number of new volunteers each year, as well as what we're calling a new club welcome to the county FA, which is an open forum opportunity for the senior leadership team here at the county to meet with new clubs, explain who we are and what we do and how we can help going forward. We're also doing an expanded series of club management websites, trying to cover some of those trickier subjects around governance, facilities and funding, finances, safer recruitment, and then so forth. Really trying to give clubs the tools to make sure that you've got the infrastructure and resources in place to help you thrive and come back in the strongest position after COVID as we look ahead at the next season. We will then also be touching on some of the FA programmes, so Affiliation, obviously today, but also looking at Wildcats and Just Play and FA Accreditation, which are the new is the new term and branding for Charter Standard. And then we're also looking to run a couple of sessions for volunteers around some of the admin side of discipline reporting and promotion pathways. And finally, we'll be running some drop-in clinics at the end of the summer around player registration and just a new initiative we've decided to do, which is a general club support drop-in surgery. So if first Tuesday of the month at midday on your lunch break, if you've got any burning questions or something you need support on, you can dial into that. You'll have various members of staff from Bucks and Bucks Online able to help out hopefully and solve any problems you may have. I can see a questions come through in the chat just around whether these are going to be webinar. The answer is yes. At the moment, we don't have any intentions to run in-person meetings across the course of the summer. I think we're still waiting to see how we're coming out of COVID and what that kind of situation and landscape looks like. The other thing is that we're finding we're reaching out to so many more people by doing them as webinars, and it makes it a lot easier for yourselves as volunteers to only give up an hour of your time rather than 3 hours by the time you travel to Abingdon and back. If you are interested in some more in-person stuff, one of the things we are looking at potentially over the course of next season will be to do effectively live streamed in-person presentations, where we may go to a venue somewhere around the county so that we can kind of do a mixture of in-person, but for those who can't drive or give up that extra time to drive across the county to attend in person, we'll be able to watch online watch it live online. We're trying to set up a function on our website so that people can sign up for these in advance rather than having to rely on creating your own calendar event or saving the emails. What we're looking to do is, through our main club webinar website or page on our website, is to have kind of downloadable calendar reminders. So effectively, click on the icon and it will add the meeting into your own calendar, whether that's Outlook, Google, iCalendar, anything like that. And then you've got the link and the information already saved in there. And so you just have to click on that when the time comes. We're hoping to get that functionality set up in the next week or so. So we'll send out all of the links and all of the information on that once that's set up and live. And finally, just because I know that things change once affiliation has been submitted to us, and if you do find that you've sent something through and you need to add an additional team or you need to change a coach at any time, just drop us an email. We have some online forms now that we'll send out, which make that process a lot easier. Unfortunately, once you've submitted an affiliation application to us, it's kind of locked for editing unless we set it back to the beginning. We're not able to do that once we've kind of taken that initial assessment and processed it for the first time. So if you are in a position where you need to add a team, it will be the same form that have been in place for the last season. So if you do have that bookmarked, by all means, keep sending those through. If not, contact one of the team and we'll get that out to you. And it's just a case of, takes a couple of minutes, fill in the information, and then we'll do the rest from our end. Finally, I wanted to direct attention as well. I mentioned it earlier, but we do have a partnership with Coolpack, who are an emergency aid supplier. There is a portal through our website and the affiliation page, which takes you through to their website. Effectively, by coming into partnership with County FA, we're able to offer reduced price equipment through Coolpack. It used to be a few seasons ago that you would have to purchase a limited amount of items through the County FA affiliation process. And we were only really able to support whole first aid kits or refills on those. So we've taken that out of the affiliation process now, but by going through our portal, you'll effectively be able to have access to Coolpack's full range of equipment, including COVID sanitation, PPE equipment, all that kind of stuff you need in 2021 to be able to run games. The sanitizer, masks, wipes, gloves, PPE, all the rest of it through their website at reduced rates. If you do need the link, it's on the screen. As I said, it's on our website, and it should be in that affiliation guide that came out. This way as well, it comes straight to you, so you know that you'll be able to track it as soon as the order's been placed. And that, I think, concludes it from our point of view. So as a message popped in the chat around circulating the slides from tonight. Yep, I have them ready to go. So we will get those. Actually, I'll see if I can drop them in the chat so you might be able to download them now. If not, we will put them on our website in that club webinar portal so that you have access to it there. I'm just having a look. No, it's not letting me attach it. So yeah, we will make sure it's available on our website as soon as possible. But yeah, that is it from us. If there are any other questions, Stacey and I will stay on the line for a bit longer. If not, good luck with the affiliation. Give us a shout if you come across any issues, if you've got any questions, and we'll look forward to seeing you back here again for 21-22 season.